Welcome back, guys, to another episode. As always, I appreciate it. It means the world. And you know what? Today, I'm like switching it up. I got this different camera angle going. I'm seeing how it works. And we're trying stuff that's new. But as always, I appreciate it. And today, I got honestly a really cool topic. So, let me start off with a personal story. When I was younger, I used to love like crime shows. I love them. I still really do. I just try to stay away from them. But I used to love them all the time. Forensic Files, and I love the ID channel, and like Deadly Women, like all those shows like were really cool. And but I never really knew why actually. I never actually knew why until I got to high school. I read this book and honestly don't even remember the name. I don't think it's even important to really know because I remember reading it in a week and I did like a book report on it, and then I killed the book report, by the way. Just saying. I really did. Shout out to anyone who was in that class, Miss Looper's 10th grade. That was a really cool, like, book report. Anyways, so I remember reading it and I talked about how, everyone has an evil in them. Everyone has, like, a certain, a mean characteristic that could be, taken out if the proper circumstances, arose or something. Is arose a word? Arise. Arose. I don't know. That's cool, though. So after that presentation, I started putting the idea of why I love crime so much to that basic idea. And when I actually put them together, I was surprised because I found myself to be quite shocked with the fact that this sounded very arrogant, this idea. They did the crime because I had more self-control. So if someone came up to me and told me I have more self-control, than you, my next question is, what you mean? Like, 'cause that's a serious thing, that's deep. That's not just, you can call someone ugly. That's something different. When you say, I have more self-control than you, you're kind of testing their humanity there, because how do you know that? And if you do, like, is that the reason for your successes? Like, this is a very deep question that you can start judging yourself upon on so many levels. So when I put those ideas together, I really wanted to understand why they committed this crime and I didn't. What made me so amazing? Because all killers have different backgrounds. You don't, like, just looking at serial killers, you can get a profile. But if you just look at murder in general, man, a lot of stupid stuff goes into murder. Remember that Popeyes murder? Like, and then in Ohio for the coronavirus in Walmart, I'm pretty sure that like 6 people died in this big ass riot. It was just terrible. So the act of killing itself isn't actually a rarity or anything. So I wanted to know what puts these people in these circumstances and situations, and what puts me not. Like, am I just destined not to have, this killing history? And I really wanted to know the answer to this question because I felt like it was important to how I plan out my future. But I didn't know, like, I didn't know where to go from there. On a serious note, I was like, why? Because it sounds too arrogant for me to say in my head that I have more self-control, or I'm smarter, I put myself in better situations. Like, who would you ever say that to? Because that's not, it's not something you would say and seem like a nice, humble person. Okay, I had this video I really wanted to show you. And it was basically, I'm set the scene for you because I don't want to show you the whole video. A group of kids saw this man drowning and they refused to help them. They pointed a camera at him, video recorded the incident, and then continued just to laugh and mock him as he was literally drowning. Like, this is terrible. And you'll see it. So, viewer discretion advised, I guess. But it's not terrible, but yes, it sucks. Here you go.
Get out the water, you gonna die.
A blatant disregard for human life.
We not finna help your ass. You finna die.
A group of Florida teens taunt a drowning man while filming his final moments from afar.
Ain't nobody finna help you, you dumb.
Okay, so that is what you call evil, right? Has to be. Because if that isn't evil, I have no idea what is, and I really need to reevaluate reality. Because when I watched that, I seriously, like, teared, and I got angry, and I got, I had one of those moments where just nothing made sense for a couple minutes. Because I don't even know how you have the capacity. Those are 16-year-old boys, by the way. How do you have the capacity to do that? That is insane. Like, that's holy hell, So that is what I call evil over criminal. See, like, right now, I think there's 2.3 million people incarcerated in the U.S. 2.3 million. Pretty sure I'm going to actually check that out just to make sure. Because I want to give y'all reliable. Yeah, it's 2.3. I looked it up to make sure, but I didn't want to make sure I remembered. But so 2.3 supposed criminals, right? Criminals, who are in jail. And that's prison, jail, and including immigration camps too, by the way. So all these people that have done wrong, and we put them in a cage because they did these wrong things. Sounds really weird, honestly. Is it like a cell? You notice how they changed the name for like cage? It's a cage, but whatever. It's just high tech cages. But it's like universities and school. Okay. Have you ever seen how in high school they just call it buildings, but in university they call it halls? Like, yeah, just like we changed like terms for some things, and it's like hilarious to me. But that was what I call evil over criminal, because they couldn't charge those boys. There was no law in Florida saying, you have to help someone who's drowning, which, I would never actually put myself in a position, or try to put myself in a position where I would make the decision, legislative wise, should that be a law. That is not something I don't want to put myself in, to be honest, because it can be argued both ways. But that, on a human level, felt like an evil. It felt like in some way that should be punishment. Just the way they were laughing, just the way that, just mocked him and giggled. Like, it was like, how do you have the capacity to do such a thing? So, where do I go from there? Only to another video, of course. Yeah. I have one more video to show you guys. And this is different, and if viewer discretion, definitely advised. But I thought it was very important, and another just way that our society is a little bit weird. So yes, viewer discretion, because it kind of sucks, but yes, it does prove a good point. Okay, so terrible video. Yes, if you don't know who that is, that's Muammar Gaddafi, whatever. He was the leader of Libya for like 40 years. He took over when he was like 27, 26, something like that. So yeah, he was in power for a long time, and his people just eventually rebelled. So when I saw that video, first of all, I told myself, like, should that be captured on video? Like, is that a thing? But then, like, the art of videography, I thought, you just capture it. But I saw no difference there, and in the way, like, here in America that we, like, line up to go to memorial and see the body. And that's an extreme example, but on, like, just circumstance-wise, the line, the cameras, the cameras wouldn't be there, and it wouldn't be much of a celebration. But in a way, everyone showing up is a way of celebrating that life, per se. To them, they're celebrating the ending of that life. We celebrate the life they lived. That's the idea of it. But it looked kind of the same. Like, it looked kind of the same, because I can't imagine at a big funeral that everyone would be quiet and no one would have their phone out. I'm sure, like Muhammad Ali's memorial service, that, when they saw the body, that people, everyone was on their best behavior. So, in a way, those are very similar to me, but one seems very evil and one seems very natural and normal. Even if you don't believe that these, are the same things, they're really not. They're different, circumstances, and they make they're intended different ways, which is important to point out. But you can't just deny that they're on the same spectrum. Like, they're not that far off. And why this is not normally important. Like, you shouldn't stress over this fact that they aren't far off. But it is to show us that what else do we do in our lives that are considered, okay and good and kind, maybe, but they might be, kind of close to an evil that we just kind of ignore. I couldn't find any examples of this in my life, to be honest. And I went thinking about, like, why do I do things? And I thought, I just put myself in someone's shoes who's just a bully. So I said, what would I say to someone, if I wanted to make fun of them? So I was like, okay, I hate being called dumb. I hated my intellect. I hated that being criticized in high school. It was my worst, like, pet peeve. So I was like, what if someone called me stupid? And I'm like, man, is that an evil? Like, how far of that is an evil? And I could only come up with the answer is it's only close enough to evil as I make it. Because if it didn't hit me, does that make the situation any less evil? It's like if, you kill somebody and you attempt to kill somebody, those are different jail sentences. So we're not acknowledging the evil, we're acknowledging the result. So I went by the result here. So I thought to myself, are evil things only, an act of the result? And I was like, after that, I was like, okay, I gotta think. So I was like, all right, someone calls me stupid. Is it evil if I get mad? Or is it evil if I get mad then hit him? And then are we both in the wrong? So honestly, I concluded that it's only as evil as it hits me. And after it hits me, the same way they're responsible for any action I do after that, I'm responsible for. Now, society will justify your response in different ways, but the act itself is still inherently evil to me, and it was my responsibility. But the evil only comes through my reaction, so I have the ability to make it not, hurt. So words hurt, but at the same time, you can tell yourself words don't matter, words aren't real. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that idea. I hope that was kind of interesting to you. Remember, if you honestly enjoyed it, please subscribe and like and share. That's dope too. I like when people share. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I have literally been trying to figure out different ways I can just improve and get better. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Hope y'all are staying safe during Corona. It's definitely, spreading a little faster than I thought it was ever going to spread, to be honest. So yeah, stay safe. Love you guys.